Have you ever wondered what real monsters look like? Not the ones in movies, but flesh and blood tyrants who drowned empires in rivers of gore, built thrones on mountains of skulls, and laughed as millions screamed, "Welcome to the shadows of history," where we rip open the forgotten tombs of the most savage rulers humanity tried to erase. These aren't your textbook kings and queens, they're nightmares in crowns. Stick around, because what you're about to hear will make your blood run cold. Picture this. A tropical island paradise turned into a slaughterhouse by one woman's iron fist. Ranavalana I seized the throne of Madagascar in 1828 after poisoning her way to power, and what followed was 3 decades of unrelenting terror. Born a commoner, she married the king, then orchestrated his death to rule alone. She despised foreigners and Christians, flipping from tolerating missionaries to hunting them like animals. Thousands were boiled alive in cauldrons, speared through the heart, or forced into the infamous Tangina ordeal, where suspects swallowed poison and chicken skins. If you didn't vomit all 3 skins intact, you were guilty and executed on the spot. Her forced labor campaigns were genocidal, marching slaves into jungles to build roads and forts until they dropped dead from exhaustion, malaria, or starvation. Historians estimate she slashed Madagascar's population from 5 million to half that through mass killings, famines, and purges. She displayed European heads on spikes along beaches as warnings, crucified converts, and once ordered 10,000 deaths in a single buffalo hunt gone wrong. Ranavalana kept her island free from colonial claws, but at the cost of rivers running red. This wasn't leadership, it was apocalypse in a royal gown. She died in 1861, but her legacy is a blood-stained island that still whispers her name in fear. Now shift to the heart of Africa, where a Belgian monarch turned a vast jungle into his personal torture chamber. Leopold II never set foot in the Congo, but from 1885 to 1908, he claimed it as his private fiefdom, the Congo Free State, under the guise of humanitarian aid. What a joke! He unleashed a rubber harvesting nightmare, forcing villagers to meet impossible quotas or face mutilation. His agents, the Force Publique, chopped off hands of men, women, and kids as proof of kills or punishment, stacking severed limbs like firewood. Millions died from overwork, whippings that tore flesh to bone, villages burned to ash, and diseases ravaging starved bodies. Estimates pin the death toll at 10 to 15 million. Half the population wiped out in a frenzy of greed for ivory and rubber. Leopold posed as a philanthropist in Europe, building palaces with blood money while Congolese women were raped, children kidnapped as hostages, and rebels hanged from trees. When word leaked via missionaries photos of maimed kids, global outrage forced him to cede control, but he burned records to hide the horror. This wasn't colonialism, it was industrial-scale slaughter. Leopold died rich in 1909. But history brands him a genocidal thief who stole a nation's soul. Travel back to ancient China, where unity came at the price of unimaginable cruelty. Qin Shi Huang, born in 259 BCE, crushed the warring states to become the first emperor in 21 BCE, forging a nation through fire and fear. He standardized everything, weights, measures, even script. But his paranoia knew no bounds. Terrified of dissent, he ordered the burning of all books except those on farming, medicine, and divination, erasing centuries of philosophy and history in bonfires that lit the skies. Scholars who protested, 460 were buried alive in pits, their screams silenced under earth. He executed rivals by drawing and quartering, like his own half-brothers, and forced millions into slave labor on the Great Wall, where thousands perished from exhaustion and were bricked into the structure as filler. His quest for immortality drove him mad, guzzling mercury elixirs that poisoned his mind and body. The Terracotta Army, his underground guard of 8,000 place soldiers, was built by artisans later entombed alive to keep secrets. Qin died in 210 BC from his own potions, but his dynasty collapsed soon after, haunted by the ghosts of the buried. This wasn't empire building, it was a tyrant's tantrum that scarred China forever. Enter the 14th century whirlwind of death named Timur, or Tamerlane, a lame-legged warlord from Uzbekistan who limped his way to infamy. Born in 1336, he claimed descent from Genghis Khan and unleashed campaigns that killed 17 to 20 million, 5% of the world's people. His signature, towers of severed heads, pyramids of skulls grinning over ruined cities as warnings. In Delhi 1398, He massacred 100,000 captives in a day, their blood-soaking streets while he feasted. Isfahan rebelled. He buried its people alive, men in one pit, women and kids in others, then trampled them with horses. Baghdad fell to beheadings so mass that rivers ran red, and he stacked 20,000 heads into minarets. Timur razed Persia, sacked Damascus, and crushed the Golden Horde, always with calculated terror to break spirits before battles. Lame from arrows, he rode in litters but fought like a demon, undefeated till death in 1405 en route to China. His empire crumbled, but the bones he left behind echo his brutality. This wasn't conquest. It was a mobile apocalypse devouring civilizations. In the Byzantine Empire, one emperor earned a nickname that chills spines: Basil II, the Bulgar Slayer, ruling from 976 to 1025 CE. He waged endless wars to expand his realm, but his crowning horror came at the Battle of Klydian in 1014. After crushing Bulgarian Tsar Samuel, Basil captured 15,000 prisoners. In an act of calculated savagery, he blinded 99 out of every 100, gouging eyes with hot irons amid agonized howls. The one-eyed survivors led the sightless horde home, a stumbling nightmare that shocked Samuel to death upon seeing it. Basil's brutality didn't stop there. He crucified rebels, flayed traitors alive, and drowned enemies in sacks tossed into seas. He suppressed revolts with mass executions, leaving fields of impaled bodies, and starved cities into submission. Yet he built churches and reformed laws, a pious monster who died unmarried, his tomb inscribed with pleas for rest after endless strife. Byzantium peaked under him, but at the cost of rivers of blood and oceans of tears. This wasn't strategy. It was sadism wearing a crown. Deep in southern Africa, a bastard son rose to forge an empire through sheer ferocity. Shaka Zulu, born around 1787, transformed a small clan into a juggernaut from 1816 to 1828. Exiled as a child, he revolutionized warfare with short stabbing spears, bull horn formations, and barefoot charges that shattered their foes. But his genius masked madness. He impaled enemies on stakes, twisted necks till they snapped, and clubbed thousands to death. Then for Cain Wars he sparked displaced millions, causing 1 to 2 million deaths. Through famine and slaughter, as tribes fled his wrath. When his mother died, Shaka went insane, executing thousands in grief, banning milk and crops, forcing widows to mourn eternally. He killed his own kin for slights, once massacring a village for a bad omen. His half-brothers assassinated him in 1828, stabbing him as he ranted. Shaka's legacy is the Zulu nation's might, but built on pyramids of corpses and endless terror. This wasn't kingship. It was a primal roar of destruction. If this dive into history's darkest rulers left you reeling, hit that like button harder than Timur hit Delhi. Subscribe for more unfiltered truth bombs that'll supercharge this channel. And drop a comment below. Which of these beasts shocked you most? Turn on notifications now, or miss the next episode that could blow your mind. Let's make this channel unstoppable together.